take over your life. She is trying to take away your independence. What about your hopes? What about your dreams?
Okay, first of all, it's Tuesday. Second of all, why are you recording me?
Evidence.
Okay, I don't know what your problem is, and clearly you have some, but I really like this girl, and the only person who I feel like is threatening me is you.
Oh, trust me, babe, I am not the only threat. Okay? Because your personal information could be leaked online and fall into the hands of criminals. And that's why today's sponsor, Incogni, is here to help.
What?
Every year, data breaches worldwide are rising. The likelihood of your data being breached is constantly increasing with hundreds of commercial databases and people search sites that have your personal information.
Wait, so information like my social security number, address, and online activity could be online for businesses or criminals to buy?
Yup.
The reason that I keep getting these weird spam emails, texts, and phone calls is because data brokers might have sold my phone number to companies so that they can build call lists.
Yep. And that's not all. People search sites create detailed profiles on millions of Americans, leaking their personal information for anyone to see. This can expose you to scams, identity theft, harassment, and stalking.
Oh yeah, my ex used one of those to stalk me.
Oh, I'm sure. And there's plenty of more examples from where that came from. There was one identity thief who took the data of 51 individuals and took out thousands of dollars in fraudulent loans. Road rage can also go beyond honking and profanity. Sometimes people look up your license plate number so that they can come and find you.
Oh God.
But Incogni protects your privacy. All you need to do is make an account, give them permission to work for you, and then they will contact data brokers on your behalf to remove your data. They will handle any objections and keep you updated on their progress every step of the way. Now go ahead and read the bottom of the paper.
The bottom?
Yeah, sure, she can read it.
Oh.
Take your personal data back with Incogni. Make sure to use code NOTEVENEMILY at the link below for 60% off an annual plan. Great. And thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring today's video. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring today's video.
Great. Great. Okay. Enjoy your guys' impending breakup.
And for a while, I just accepted, like, hey, maybe love just isn't for me. I remember there were some people online who were commenting that maybe I was even on the aromantic spectrum. And when I took a quiz, it said, yeah, like you have aromantic tendencies. So I was like, maybe this just like isn't for me. When I thought about my future, I wasn't thinking about marriage. I wasn't picturing, kids and a family and a wife and all of those things, right? I was really just thinking about my career. I was thinking, I want to hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I want to be in like a really good movie at least once. I wasn't thinking about like, I want to be at the aisle saying I do. Whenever people would ask me about like, do you picture yourself getting married and stuff like that? I was like, honestly, I haven't really thought about that. It kind of feels like it's none of my business. And after being single for so long, I started not to believe in romantic love in the sense that it would be beneficial for me in my life experiences. Before I was in the relationship that I'm currently in, I feel like love to me, it was like nitrogen, right? Like it's all around me, apparently. I can't see it. Doesn't cross my mind, but apparently it's pretty important. Believe it or not, I actually used to be quite the hopeless romantic. I would say from ages when I was a child, naive, to up until when I was 19, right? And 19, that can be a pivotal age. That can be, there's the entire stereotype around the notorious, infamous situationship you have at 19 that kind of alters your world a little bit, and a plug is pulled somewhere, a wire was cut. And that's when I found out, no matter how much you feel like you love someone and no matter how much you devote to them and accommodate for them and stuff like that, it's not gonna make them love you back. So, I think there was a shift there for me, and and then other relationship stuff happened to me as well, and then I was kind of just like, wow, this shit is not it for real. And I think I used to sort of mourn the completely hopeless romantic version of me that was so, I guess, like hopeful and starry-eyed and not jaded and things like that. But I do think that it is a good thing that that part of me has sort of faded away, because it's allowed me to go about love and dating and relationships in a much more realistic way. You know, having thought processes like, you know, we were destined to be together. We were written in the stars. It will be no other way. We are soulmates. If we ever broke up, cows' udders would run dry. Birds would stop flying. Saturn would lose its rings. Just like us if we got divorced, which we wouldn't do that because it's against the laws of nature. But I think something that has helped me open myself back up to love again is sort of just not putting that much pressure on it. In a relationship, you are both your own people with your own autonomy. That means that I understand that at some point, she could change her mind. So instead, having the mindset of, you know, moving forward intentionally and having goals and making sure that we're aligned, checking in to make sure that we're still aligned and things like that, I think that can be very freeing. You know, we should be together for as long as we're supposed to, which I hope is for a very, very long time. Ideally, you know, the rest of our lives, whatever. But, you know, and we'll put in the work to have that be the outcome. But if, you know, it's not the case that we stay together, then the case is not it. At the end of the day is gonna end. And maybe some people would find that offensive to be able to accept that as a fact, you know, be like, oh yeah, no, like, I know that, like, it's possible that we could break up. I think some people would hear that and automatically be like, wait, so you want to break up? You don't think we're going to be together forever? Like, what? And I do understand that. But relationships, they end all the time. There are so many celebrity couples where it's like they break up after 8 years of dating and everyone is like, well, almost a decade down the drain, love isn't real anymore. And it's like, no, that's not true, actually. You know, a big part of love can also be the loss. And, you know, even on a more personal level, I'm sure you guys know of couples in your own lives that it's like, oh, like, they're for sure gonna get married. You know, Sarah and Brad, yeah, they're locked in. They're locked in. And then lo and behold, you see that they've unfollowed each other on Instagram and Sarah's posting Taylor Swift song lyrics on her story. And all of a sudden, Brad is like a gym bro and he hasn't left the gym in about 72 hours. And that can be crazy to witness. You know, because it seems like they were so sure about each other and you were sure that they were sure about each other. This is insane. They were supposed to get married. They were supposed to have kids. This is not supposed to be happening. This is like saying chips and salsa no longer go together and 2 + 2 no longer equals 4. Okay, it does not make sense. I mean, I have been studying science for over 15 years at this point. That's mostly due to me having to retake my classes over and over because I kept failing them. All the time that I have spent in the field doing research, I have never seen something so contrary to the evidence. Could you elaborate? Sure. I mean, it has me fucked up. I'm like, what? Right. Okay. Do you believe there is scientific backing for this? No, I don't. I think that all of the data, analysis, statistics, observations that me and my colleagues have made, they were pointing in one direction, and all of a sudden, you know, our entire world was flipped upside down. I have no idea what's even fact or fiction anymore. I'm sorry, so you don't believe in the science? No, I don't believe in anything anymore. Okay, I'm sorry, what exactly are you saying? I'm talking about my friends Jared and Sarah breaking up. What? You know we invited you here to talk about climate change, right? Yeah, I think this is gonna make it worse. How so? I don't know, but something shifted. So yes, relationships end, and sometimes you are supposed to love someone for a certain amount of time, and it might not be forever, even if you really, really want it to be, and no matter how hard you try. So, yeah, I hope that was uplifting. I think everything I've said so far makes sense, and you might think it sounds pessimistic, but I have come such a long way from how I used to be, because how I used to be, it didn't make sense. I was not being logical. I just immediately shut and slammed the door on love, and I was like, love is biochemical warfare is what I thought. I literally viewed it as a scam. Like I was way worse before,